Today we're making homemade birria queso tacos. I've been seeing a very Americanized version all over the internet, so today I'll be showing you guys how to make it the authentic way. You need about 6 chile guajillos, 3 chile de árbol, and about 5 ancho chiles. You want to add those to a big pot of water with 5 pounds of chuck roast, everything that I have listed on the screen as well. You want to skim the top of your broth, we want it very clean. Add a hefty pinch of salt, cover and let it cook for about 1 hour. After 1 hour, you want to take out your chiles and add them to a blender. You also want to add in some of your onions, garlic, and cinnamon stick, as well as a little bit of our beef broth. You also want to add in everything that I have displayed on the screen. You want to blend until very smooth for about 1 to 2 minutes. We're going to add that to our beef broth. Also adding in 2 boiled tomatoes that I pureed. You want to let that cook for another 2 hours. Take your meat out of your broth and strain your liquid. You want to take your corn tortillas and dip them to your strained broth. Put them to a hot pan with some butter and you want them to get nice and crispy. Add your Oaxaca cheese, your shredded beef, some onions and cilantro. Dip them into your consomme with some onions and cilantro and you're done.
You will not believe these McDonald's hash browns. They are literally 3 ingredients and so crispy and fluffy on the inside. So the first thing I did was I used russet potatoes and I peeled 2 for my recipe. And I cut them into thirds and parboiled them. That means we're going to partially cook them. So I boiled them for about 8 minutes, let them cool, and then grate them. Add 1 egg and a tablespoon of cornstarch. You're going to mix it and then shape it on your parchment paper and put it in the freezer for about 30 minutes and then fry them on high heat and enjoy. I hope you like them.
Let's do some cooking.
Crispy, spicy, garlicky potatoes. What more could you want? Get yourself some potatoes and then cut them into cuboids. Cut into 1 centimeter thick slices, then cut horizontally, flip, and then cut diagonally. And how cool does this look? Boil for 4 minutes. Meanwhile, prepare the seasoning using these ingredients. Give it a little whisk and coat your potatoes. Sprinkle on some parmesan halfway through, and when done, you should be left with these crispy, fluffy on the inside potatoes.
I want you to play a guessing game with me. What do you think these are? These are not egg yolks, and this might seem like an egg, but it's not. Oh, and this is also not an egg. This is not caviar, these are not noodles, but this is bread, and this is soup. Oh, and we have nature's cereal right here. This is the one place on food TikTok where seeing is not believing. You cannot trust anything I make, but that's the fun part. I might be the only food creator with a sensitive warning on my video because I made edible blood that was too realistic for TikTok. We've turned literally any liquid you want into spheres and caviar, even the craziest ones you can think of. We've used a bunch of crazy tools like syringes, pipettes, and this precision scale that you all seem to love. So if you want to join me in my little playground, like, comment, share, follow, leave a suggestion with the craziest thing you can think of, and I'll find a way to fool you every time.
Let's make baked feta pasta, mac and cheese, and let's make it spanakopita style. Add 2 blocks of feta to the center of a casserole dish. Then pour in a pound of dry macaroni or your small pasta of choice, along with 4 cups of half and half and 2 cups of water. Add a nice sized sprinkle of kosher salt, then give it a little bit of a stir. Next, drizzle your feta with some extra virgin olive oil and crack some fresh black pepper over top. Then pop in a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. When it comes out, you know the drill. Break up the feta and start mixing everything together. I only added 4 cups of liquid before I put it in the oven, and I needed to add more, so that's why I told you to add 6. Add 2 cups of Parmesan cheese now, or you can add it at the beginning phase as well. Give that a stir, then add a bunch of spinach. You can add fresh or frozen, just make sure frozen is well drained and warmed up. Next, add your phyllo dough topping. I will show you how to do this in another video. Then just break in and enjoy. Where else can I take this trend?
Little Debbie snacks were an essential part of my childhood, and my favorite were the chewy and fudgy cosmic brownies. So let's make them at home and even better. Here's a list of everything you'll need to make your brownies from scratch. First thing you're gonna do is whisk together all your dry ingredients. Then add the eggs, vanilla extract, and your melted butter. Make sure to mix together using a rubber spatula so they turn out fudgy rather than cakey. Then drop that all into a lined 8x8 baking pan and pop it in the oven to bake. To make the easiest frosting, just add all your ingredients into a bowl. Pop in the microwave 15 seconds at a time, mixing until it looks just like this. Once the brownies cool down, pour the frosting on top and let it chill so the frosting hardens. Last step, add your rainbow chips and cut them just like the cosmic brownies you ate when you were a kid. And that's it. Stay hungry.
What's up, TikTok? My name's Ben and I'm the founder of Mob Kitchen, a recipe platform set up 4 years ago with a focus on delicious, affordable dishes. We're going to bring all of our biggest and best recipes to you, and first up is our chorizo carbonara. First up, you want to separate 5 eggs and add the yolks to a bowl along with a big grating of parmesan and lots of black pepper. Give everything a mix and set it aside. Peel your chorizo, grate your garlic and chop up your rosemary. Add the chorizo to a pan on a medium heat so the fat in the chorizo can render out and it will get nice and crispy. Get your spaghetti cooking in a pan filled with lots of salted boiling water, and then add your rosemary and garlic to the chorizo, and then add a big splash of pasta water. Reserve a big jug of pasta water and then add your pasta straight into the pan with the chorizo. Turn off the heat and add your egg and cheese mix. Keep tossing everything together, adding more pasta water until you have a nice creamy carbonara consistency. Serve on warm plates topped with a bit more parmesan, a nice squeeze of lemon juice to cut through the richness, and a bit more black pepper. Jobs are good.
Recipes for my favorite Korean dramas. Quail eggs.
Boil the eggs for 6 minutes. Press it in an ice bath.
Add the eggs in a plastic bag. Shake it up. This will be a lot easier to peel. Peel the eggs. Kelp broth or dashi stock. Add in soy sauce, honey or sugar, 6 cloves of peeled garlic. If you like it spicy, you can add a little bit of chopped red chili pepper.
Bring it to a simmer.
Add in the quailed eggs.
Cook on low heat for 20 minutes. Look at that.
Let's make chocolate strawberry cheesecake pasta. Add some strawberries to a baking dish, sprinkle liberally with sugar, add a splash of vanilla extract and a pinch of salt and stir to combine. Arrange the strawberries on the outside of the dish, then place a block of cream cheese in the center and sprinkle liberally with sugar again. Then bake in a 400-degree oven for about 40 to 45 minutes. Once it comes out, stir it all up to combine. At this point, you can taste the strawberries to see if you need to add any more sugar. Then add some chopped semi-sweet or bittersweet chocolate and stir again to combine. Next, we are going to add our chocolate pasta that we made the other day. It's absolutely stunning, if I do say so myself. Make sure you reserve some of the starchy, chocolatey pasta water and add however much of that starchy pasta water you need until you get the sauce consistency that you like. To serve, top with diced fresh strawberries. Definitely a full-on dessert pasta. Well, would you try it?
Mashed potatoes should not have lumps. These are the best. Another episode, back to basics.
3 pounds russet potatoes, or you can use Yukon Golds. Wash them, don't be dirty.
1-inch dice.
Fill with cold water till they cook evenly. Bring to a bubble over high heat.
Toast your salt vigorously.
Bubble 10 to 12 minutes. Return to the pot. The heat of the pot will evaporate the excess moisture.
Don't skip this step. If you do, they'll be watery. Let it set 5 minutes.
3/4 cup unsalted butter.
1/2 cup heavy cream.
Melt the butter and warm the cream, medium-low heat.
Use a ricer or a food mill. No lumps.
Add the butter and the cream.
Truffle salt, because you fancy.
Truffle oil, because you're extra fancy.
I don't eat no other tacos but real, authentic Mexican tacos. If my tacos don't look like that, I don't want them. I love my Mexican people.
Let's do some cooking.
Does anybody else have that snack that they invented when they were younger and it was absolutely delicious and you were super, super proud of it and you made it for everyone, you ate it all the time, you even took pictures of it? Yeah? Okay, so this is mine. It's called a 3 M&M's ball. and it's delicious. You start with the Three Musketeers bar.
You must follow food TikTok. Knowing how to make food from a box is not good enough. Knowing how to order food online is not impressive. Come to food TikTok and I will show you how to cook such a—
Okay, look, I've got Pizza the Hut before. I'll do it again. 1 cup of water. 1.5 teaspoons of NC East. A little mixy. Sit for 5 minutes. 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. 2 teaspoons of sugar. 1.25 teaspoon of fine sea salt. Whiskey business. Add your yeasty water and mix. Till you get a rough dough. Have a dual work surface. Keep kneading until nice and smooth. Medium bowl. Little drizzle of olive oil. Shape your dough into a ball into your bowl. Plastic wrap, lightly oiled. Cover. Rise at room temperature 1 to 2 hours. Italian tomatoes. Tomato. 2 cloves of garlic. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Salt to taste. Pinch of sugar. Blend. Till nice and smooth. Pizza stone. Into the oven. 500 Fahrenheit. 45 minutes. Baking sheet. Dust generously with flour. Flour. Dump out your dough. Divide. 2 even pieces. And shape into a ball. Onto your sheet. Cover and rest. 30 minutes. Pizza peel with flour. Piece of dough. Flour on the top. Punch around the perimeter. Over the knuckles. Turn, stretch, turn, stretch. Little pizza sauce. Spread it out. Cheese. Pepperoni. Into the oven on 5 minutes. Broil 2 minutes. Garlic oil on the crusty. Ooh-wee. Let's do some cooking.
You must follow food TikTok. Knowing how to make food from a box is not good enough. Knowing how to order food online is not impressive. Come to food TikTok and I will show you how to cook such amazing food that your friends and family will be so impressed and you'll always be showing off your amazing cooking skills.
I'm going to share my mum's secrets on how to make the crispiest and best crumb chicken, so you're just going to have to trust us on this one. Crack 4 eggs into a shallow bowl and whisk together with water and crushed garlic cloves and leave to marinate. Cut the tenderloin off the chicken breast and then using a sharp knife, cut the chicken breast in half crosswise. Place that chicken breast in between 2 pieces of Glad wrap and then use the smooth side of a mallet to pound it out until it's an even size of thickness. For the breadcrumbs, we need some finely chopped parsley and rosemary and add it to a blender with that torn up stale bread. Blend until you have a chunky texture. Whisk together some flour and salt and begin crumbing your chicken by placing it into the flour, then placing it into the egg wash and then generously coating it in those chunky breadcrumbs. Add a generous amount of olive oil to a pan and fry that chicken until it's crispy and golden. Dip it into a dipping sauce of your choice and
if you're going to Noodles & Company just for their pesto cavatappi, I think it's time to learn how to make it at home, and yes, it's even better. To make the pesto, all you gotta do is add all these ingredients to a food processor and pulse until it looks beautiful like this. While the pasta boils, we're gonna start on our sauce. Soften the mushrooms, then add in your heavy cream, tomatoes, parmesan, and pesto. Once it thickens, add the pasta and toss it all around. All that's left to do is enjoy.
Believe me when I say this is going to blow your mind and change the way you make your lunch wraps. I saw this yesterday and I just had to try it. First, you want to make your protein. I've gone with crispy tofu. Make a cut halfway down your wrap or tortilla. Add your fillings to each quarter. I've gone with lettuce, tomatoes, cheese, tofu, of course some sauce. Now for the magic. Starting at the cut, fold each corner in so you're left with a little pocket and then toast it. It'll have you smiling like me even before your first bite.
This is a salad. I know, it doesn't look like it, but you can eat the entire thing in one bite, and we make it really unique with some molecular gastronomy. Even though it looks like we have caviar on the inside, that's also not true. All we need are a few tools like this scale, which I use for cooking, but apparently you all don't. A little bit of agar powder, and we can get going. I hate salads with a passion. Literally, that might be the food that I hate most in the world. So I wanted to trick myself into thinking I wasn't eating a salad while still preserving the same flavors of a salad. If you think that adults shouldn't play with their food, you are 100% wrong, because it's way more fun. But here we have all the classic ingredients: lettuce, bell peppers, pine nuts, a balsamic vinegar and kumquat juice mixture, which we turn into our fake caviar, and a bit of high quality olive oil as well. We put all these into an edible film capsule that we seal with heat, and the result is a salad like you've never seen before, because that's what we do on this channel. We make foods here that you've literally never seen in your life.
Okay, so no exaggeration at all, but this is gonna be the best garlic bread you ever have. And we're gonna call it the I Love Butter garlic bread. First, take some room temp butter and add parmesan, garlic, parsley, salt, black pepper, and oregano. Then get some soft and extra fluffy French bread and cut it just like this. Slap on a thick layer of that butter we just made, and optional, add some shredded mozzarella on top. All that's left to do is pop it in the oven and broil it to golden perfection. Trust me when I say that these are addicting, and they make the perfect side dish with some pasta. Stay hungry!
Monday, we start simple. Tuesday, we toast. Wednesday, it's our go-to. Thursday, let's try something new. Friday, weekend time.
Somebody sent me a life hack video with this grilled cheese in it. I did it a little different, and I also made some homemade tomato bisque. Let's start with the tomato bisque. 4 tablespoons of butter, 1 clove of garlic, half an onion, salt and pepper, and 1 can of these tomatoes. Then 1 cup of chicken stock, 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, and you're gonna bring this to a boil. I found this organic cheese at Target. It's supposed to taste amazing. So you take 1 slice of cheese, put it between 2 slices of white bread, take a cup, cut it out, and then the other guy put it in a toaster, but I'm gonna slap some butter on mine and throw it in the air fryer. I just used the bread setting for the 8 minutes. I use my Ninja to blend my soup, or you can use an emulsion blender. Add a little parsley just for color. This is something I had to try because...
What's up guys, today we're going to be making chocolate chip cookie dough bars. Add softened butter, light brown sugar and granulated sugar to a bowl and whisk these together. Add 2 eggs and vanilla and mix these in. Then add plain flour, bicarbonate of soda and salt and mix until just combined. Add your chocolate chips and fold these in, then scoop the mix into a baking tray and spread it out evenly. Add some more chocolate chips to the top and bake for around 25 minutes. Let them cool fully and that's it, enjoy!
McDonald's chicken snack wraps were so good, and it really hurt when they took them off the menu, so today we're gonna make them at home and even better. First, cut your chicken breast into thin tenders. Then you'll make your dry batter as well as your wet batter and make sure to spice it really well. Now to get very crispy chicken tenders, we're going to add some of the wet batter into the dry to create that flaky texture. Then we'll double dip, wet, dry, then back into the wet and back into the dry. Let the tenders rest for about 10 minutes while we make our ranch sauce. Then you'll heat your vegetable oil and fry the tenders until they're nice and golden brown, just like this. Last step is to assemble with your tortillas, lettuce, shredded cheese, our tenders, and sauce. They tasted just like the real deal. Stay hungry.
Hi, my name is Miriam and I'm addicted to carbs. Here we have some buffalo chicken calzones, some Korean cream cheese garlic bread. You guys don't understand how happy it made me. It came out so good. I made some milk bread just for Oikawa, twisted pretzels with homemade cheese sauce, as well as these heavenly fluffy butter rolls. They were so delicious. Starting to realize I make way too much bread. But we're not done yet. Here's some homemade pita bread, copycat Annie Ann sour cream and onion pretzels, some perfect dinner rolls, copycat Annie Ann cinnamon sugar pretzel bites, as well as some normal pretzel bites with cheese sauce. I made homemade Raising Cane's Texas toast, the perfect garlic knots. All of you guys went crazy over this recipe. I made the Texas Roadhouse rolls, but 10 times better. And of course, we can't forget about Olive Garden's breadsticks, some cream cheese and jam danishes, garlic butter naan, as well as the savory pull-apart bread. And that's not even all the bread recipes that I posted on my page, but there's definitely a lot more coming.
Today we're making these delicious buttery melt-in-your-mouth flour tortillas. Start by mixing 1 tablespoon of baking powder and 2 teaspoons of salt with 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Melt half a cup of unsalted butter with 1 cup of water. Mix until the butter is completely melted and add it to the flour while it's still warm. Mix until your flour comes together and knead it into a nice smooth ball of dough. Cover it with plastic for 10 to 15 minutes. Separate them into equal-sized pieces and roll them into nice smooth balls of dough. Transfer them back into the bowl and cover them with the plastic for 10 more minutes. On a lightly floured working surface, roll out your first piece until you have a 10 to 12 inch round. Preheat your pan, skillet, or comal over medium heat and place your tortilla. Once you see these bubbles begin to form, flip it over. Cook for an additional 30 seconds, then flip again. These tortillas are super buttery and delicious. They taste great just by themselves. And enjoy.
This is our most viral video with 30 million views, but today I'm going to share the recipe. Start by melting mozzarella in the microwave until fully melted. Then you're going to add it into silicone donut molds and pop it in the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes until solid. They'll look like this. Place it in egg, then flour, then egg again, and then Takis or hot Cheetos or whatever chips you want really. Then we're gonna fry it in 350-degree oil, either on a stove or in a deep fryer for about 4 minutes. Would you try this? Let me know.
Today we're making Cane's chicken tenders, but 10 times better. If you want the recipes for the Texas toast and the cane sauce, they're already up on my page. But for the chicken, you want to marinate it in buttermilk, 1 egg, and 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. For at least 1 to 2 hours, overnight is preferred. Now in a separate bowl, you want to add 1.5 cups of flour, a tablespoon of cornstarch, and a teaspoon of baking soda, a tablespoon of onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, salt, and paprika, and 1 cup of Italian breadcrumbs. We're going to take our chicken from our marinade and dip it into our flour, dip it into our buttermilk mixture, and then into our flour again. Let them rest on a rack for 10 minutes. Fry on medium heat for about 6 to 10 minutes or until fully cooked, and you're ready to enjoy. I obviously served it with my cane sauce, the homemade Texas toast, and some fries, and the written recipes will be on my Instagram throughout the week.
I thought I'd show you guys how I make my crispy chicken burgers because they're pretty good. I start with the marinade, and I didn't have any buttermilk this time, so I just used some milk with a little bit of lemon. Here I'm using chicken breasts, and I let them marinate for a few hours. For the flour mix, honestly just use as much spices as you can, it makes such a difference in the flavour. And then here I'm showing how I make my spicy mayo. It's super easy and it tastes amazing. When it comes to coating the chicken, I like to mix some of the wet mixture in the dry so that it gives it a really flaky crust. And of course, if you want it to be extra thick and crispy, you want to double dip or even triple dip. Leave it to rest for a few minutes, and that way the coat won't separate when you're frying, and then it should look something like this. And then you can go ahead and build the burger with anything you like, and that's basically it.
Showing you how to make my favorite 10-minute spicy garlic noodle. Mince up 4 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of black vinegar, 1.5 tablespoons of homemade chili oil, 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds, 1 tablespoon of crushed red pepper, add in the minced garlic, cook up your favorite noodle, 5 tablespoons of oil, teaspoon of Szechuan peppercorn, heat up the oil, cut this chili oil, slice up some cucumber and the cooked noodles, mix together, add on sliced cucumber. Now look at that.
I bet you didn't know that Subway used to put a chemical found in yoga mats in their bread to make it stretchy. Or that Taco Bell's meat is actually more oats and fillers than real meat. And that McDonald's fries can basically sit out there for years and never even rot. Now, I don't say all of this to scare you, but instead to inspire you to come over to Restaurant Remake TikTok. We're making all your favorites, and yes, it's even better. So follow along and drop a comment with what you want to see next.
Another Aldi meal prep. This time I had to buy some extra stuff, so the actual cost was $68 for 24 meals. That was my shopping list. That's all my food. We're going to start with breakfast. We got sausage, eggs, and cheese. You grill the sausage, scramble the eggs, mix it all together, throw it in some Tupperware, add some cheese and the lids. Moving on to lunch, we got steak salads. Score it, season it, sear it. And I got this cool Tupperware from Aldi for salads. You got your greens, your toppings. I got walnuts, apples, goat cheese, and cranberries. Add some avocado and some balsamic vinaigrette. Those are my helpers. Moving on to dinner, we did rice and roasted veggies. We did broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and mushrooms. You're going to season it to taste. Throw it in the oven at 375. We did fish and chicken, seasoned with lemon pepper and lemons. Also bake in the oven at 375. Throw the fish over the rice, and that's it.
Hey everyone, it's Ariana, and this is some of the most mind-blowing chicken you'll ever eat. It's called takganjeon, and it's this sweet and crispy Korean fried chicken that's unlike anything I've ever had before. The chicken is perfectly crunchy on the outside and covered in an amazing spicy sweet sticky sauce. Start by covering 4 cube chicken breasts with a cup of buttermilk, and then season with some salt, white pepper, and garlic powder. Give that a stir and then pop it into the fridge to marinate for an hour overnight. Then to your bowl, add 1.5 cups of flour, plus your baking powder, dried thyme, chili flakes, paprika, salt, and pepper. This is gonna be the crispy coating for the outside of our chicken, so add your chicken in there and stir it around, and then fry your chicken in hot oil for a couple minutes on each side till they're nice and golden. I fry the chicken in batches so it cooks evenly and doesn't overcrowd the pan. Finally, for our sauce, we're gonna simmer soy sauce, ginger, garlic, sesame oil, brown sugar, honey, and gochujang, which is this insanely delicious spicy Korean fermented chili paste, and then simmer for 5 minutes and coat the chicken. Then top with a sprinkle of toasted sesames, red pepper flakes, and sliced scallions. Let me know which dishes you'd like to see next. Check out the full recipe on my Instagram and follow for more food from around the world.
15 street food for 15 days. Half a cup of flour, dashi stock, 1 egg. Set it aside for 10 minutes. Use any seafood you like. I'm using baby octopus today. Blanch your seafood, bite-sized pieces. Wipe on some oil. Once the pan is hot, add in the batter halfway. Add in your topping, green onion, and pour in the rest of the filling. Start seeing little holes, then you can start flipping it. More oil and keep frying it for another 5 minutes. Tapioca sauce as well as Japanese mayo. Look at that.